Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Big Rain. I've got Evija 3.2 here. This is the re-released version. So 3.2 was all about reporting. So we squashed a ton of bugs, souped up a lot of our reporting. Um, Essentially, we made it work better with TradingView Strategy Tester, which gives us the ability to produce backtest results instantly at a glance. That way you can flip around settings, flip around charts. The re-release version squashed a lot of quote-unquote bugs revolving around hard math. So 3.2 and its re-release was all about accurate reporting. To the best of my knowledge, there's one last minor bug that I need to get to. I'll get to it. Excuse me. It's been a long day. I'll get to it in the next update. And that minor bug is some very minor safety order skipping. So I don't even know if it really affects the calculations just yet with the way the weird issue happens. I gotta get in there and take a deeper look, but it would affect, I believe, the signals. So the way that the signals come through, you don't want to miss a signal to activate or employ more of your capital if you don't have to miss that little signal. Those types of hiccups happen all the time, so that's an extremely minor thing. And just for anyone who doesn't know, Evija is all about strategy components. It's really kind of a pain to work on Evija because it's all about math and code. It's just a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard. I don't know the best wording for it right now, but it's really hard, straightforward, pragmatic-like work. It's a lot of accounting type stuff. So yeah, in the next signal suite called Hotel Indigo, we'll get back to the fun stuff. But for now, with the Evija, it's all about math, accounting, reporting. Exciting when it's finished, but kind of a pain and boring to work on, to be honest with you. But you know, it's what we need. You know, and we've got an incredible mission here, and I guess I have some skill. But yeah, we're gonna what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna tune. So I've tuned Evija 3 by hand already, and now we're going to programmatically tune it, and I'm gonna record this video in pieces. So that way we can avoid any crashes. And I'm just gonna let you have a little over-the-shoulder look at how I do, you know, some of my programmatic configuration. So, you know, the settings, it's called a config. So your config, how you've got your script configured, is based on, or I'm sorry, the configuration is what defines. So your configuration is made of inputs, right? You're in full control of the inputs, and therefore you're in full control of the outputs. So your configuration is your inputs, and it produces what is called, what we've defined. You know, we're the ones creating the jargon these days. It's what produces your signal set. So a signal set is just a set of signals on the chart that produce, you know, the results. So yeah, so we're going to use what I like to call the config miner. It's a TradingView strategy finder. You can visit this website and get it all hooked up. Whether or not it's something that you use monthly, that's up to you. It just depends. You know, we're at the very top of, you know, in the next update, in the next two updates, so when we get to Evija 3.4 to 3.8 area, when we're in that realm, we are essentially becoming the apex of a lot of different stuff. It depends on how far you want to take it. But as financial developers, there's really a lot going on. You know, we're really trying to make a huge stance in partitioning the financial developer from the financier. That's going to do it. It's really difficult to explain how far these visions reach. But let me just go ahead and cut all that, and let me start taking a look into this. So I'm going to do a programmatic default config, and you can see the hand, the default programmed by hand is here. I've cut a lot of unnecessary code out, unnecessary features out. I've done honestly a lot, and I've stuffed a massive amount of inputs. This is still a very long script, but I've stuffed a lot of the still important stuff. I've stuffed it in the code, so there's many more inputs here underneath the hood than you see here. There's many more inputs and a lot more math that's going on under the hood than what you see presented here. And a lot of that was done so that it is easier to mine a good config. So I'm going to wrap up talking on, the explanation type stuff. I'm going to cut this video and I'm going to start a new video. Okay, so here's TradingView Strategy Finder. It's a Chrome extension, so it has to be a Chrome-based browser. In the settings, I'm using Smart Search. That's my key. Hopefully I remember to blur that out. Net profit. So I've got the threshold set at 1859. I don't really care about anything that's less. Another thing that is going to be important for the future, for more like higher frequency trading, is minimum number of trades. So you might want to specify like a certain ROI, and then you want like a large number of trades. If it's a large number of trades, that means you're going to be closing deals quickly and getting money back quickly. So you might, many people would want to sacrifice ROI accumulation for faster and more consistent returns. So you can set up your settings and then save. So right now I've got this is the way that this is the way that you present. It's a little bit backwards. You present your exchange that you want to look at, and then you present your pair. And my favorite pair is Matic USDT. Or just Matic in general. Usually I've found over thousands of tests. At this point, I've probably run so many different types of batch tests. It's absolutely insane how hard I've been working for years now. It's crazy how I've always got pushback, but that's kind of who I am. People. I usually kind of get people flustered, flabbergasted. I'm a mind blower. I hate to toot my own horn, but toot. 45 minutes. I program on the 1 hour, but I've usually found that 45 minutes is the best time frame. So this is, since I've got it on Smart Search, it relies a little bit more on loops. It cuts down greatly on. You're not gonna check every config variation, but you're gonna be able to find good configs a lot faster. So you're gonna miss out on a lot, but I mean you're data mining at home. So until I design one of these solutions myself, this is what we're rocking with, and I have no complaints, honestly. But yeah, okay. So field. This is field number 1. This is not considered a field, and this also doesn't. It can't tick and untick boxes. So right now we've got 3.2 at its default. Only thing that's checked is this, because this just usually boosts ROI. Lots of stuff these tools are used by so many different people for so many different setups, and so many different styles and approaches. Everything, especially now at Evija 3.2, everything has an explicit purpose now. So this is field 1. We're gonna check step sizes in threes. Instead of doing 1. Instead of doing it by 1. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's gotta load this massive script every time. We're gonna check it in threes, and we're gonna check between 3 and 90. And that's this first one. Actually, I don't need to check this. So this is field 1. Yeah, we'll go to field 2. And right now it's at 64, but. So I want to try and be as conservative as I can be, because it's going to end up getting massive. How many things we've got to check. So I'm going to say. Well, I guess with that one, we'll leave it at 3 to 90. Right now, it's 60 steps. 1 minute, 1 round out of 2. Didn't mean to do that. And then later I'll probably change this to 4. But I want to see what the time is. Okay, 30 steps, 30 seconds. Now, Smart Search, it's going to find the best setting, the highest ROI accumulation for this, and then it's going to save that, and then it's going to move on to this. And I don't totally understand just yet how the looping works. I don't know if it goes this way and then it loops it in reverse. Not totally sure what it intends to do there. We'll figure it out. But with the way that Bollinger Bands work, you know, you can see Bollinger Bands used with like anything. You see them all over the place. It's almost as common as like a standard deviation. I don't necessarily know. I will do 3, and I'm just gonna do it in 3 again, and I'll do 3 to 90. Yeah. All right. 3. This doesn't need to go that high. 27. And then now we're looking at bearish sensitivity. I hope I don't screw up any of these fields. I was going to label them, but it's absolutely ugly when I use the labels. If I use this, then it'll look really nice. Like if I put what label number it is at the end of that description, and then I just have a description on each one. Tooltip. I always forget that word. Field 4. So this is field 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Field 5, step size. I'd like to do it in 0.03s. 0. Excuse me. This is a noise that I made with my mouth while I was thinking. 1 dot, 20? Should try and keep it in multiples of 3. Not that I remember how to do math. 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. 15. Okay, Choir change to qualify longs. I'm doing it in increments of 1. Between 0 and negative. Not really too crazy. $16. Between 20. Yeah. 17. Let's listen. The Lizzing. I'll do it in 3s. From 3 to 27. How about that? And then this is not 18, but this one is. Okay, field 18. We're gonna do that in step sizes of. Actually, I prefer to do 0.5. And I'm gonna go for right there. Nope. 9. 19. Okay, 0.5. What? Hopefully that doesn't backfire. I don't need to do the step sizes and. Yeah, nah. I know what I'm doing. Excuse the immaturity, but I'm still young. I already did that. So now I'm doing this. Right, should be 19 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and the 19th. Negative 0.5. Negative 9. And this ain't jack diddly. This is nice, man. This is so much nicer doing this. When the script like Evija v2, man, you couldn't get nothing done. It was like 3,000 years to get anything done. I'm telling you, Evija 3 is a massive, absolutely gargantuan update, and you just wouldn't know. Like even the Grandmasters is probably still not. It probably still hasn't hit them, like just how incredibly gigantic this update is. I mean, it's like the crux of Evija, which is our first Master Suite. Okay, 19, 20, 21, 22, okay, 23, yeah, da, 23, hi, between 9, 5, and this should work as a brand new beautiful master guide or addition to the previous master guide. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just making crap up as I go. Alright, deal with it. And the more you just give me space to do that, the more I'm paving the way and developing, and like, you know, it's cascading revisions that it's really, really hard to explain, man. 23, uh-oh, I've gone cross-eyed. Okay, 24. The more you give me space to just be myself and do my thing, the better I can help you. And the further along I get, the easier my trail is to follow. Target take profits. Daddy wants to target the take profits. Not gonna do 0.05. I don't want to take less than 4. This would actually be but I don't want to go. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not sticking. I don't get all night, man. I just worked a bunch of hours. That's not bad, 47. It's alright. I don't want to do 4. That's be dumb. What's the... Isn't 47 a multiple of 9? Let me pull out the old calculadora. $49. Already knew that. It's 49. Not that it totally matters. It just being uniform, I guess. Or trying to be. Safety order volume. Scales. This is genius. I mean, I'm gonna be able to test the whole script via smart search. Well, most of it. You know, there's the primary index and stuff. But I can test that stuff in a run. 25. Safety order volume scaling. That doesn't need to be more than 4, I don't think. I'll do it in... freaking hate you guys. Just kidding. Give me 5. Give it to me. 26. Step size 0.03. 0.27. And no, I'll do 18. It's gonna test this, find the best thing, and then it's gonna test this. Honestly, I'd rather do it the other way around. Who gives a crap? I mean, who gives a crud? For all you non-Romans. 1.2. We'll do that for now. Just because I don't want to freaking wait around all day. Super robust freaking jobs. 27. Don't need that. 28, no. 29, no. 30. Wow! It ends on 30. You know, not counting the window for obvious, well, for implicitly obvious reasons. But yeah, it ends right on 30. Man, this is a sexy script. Chopped. Oh, thank God. I was hoping that wouldn't delete everything. It's been a while since I've used this. Okay, so 15 minutes. I'm with it. For show. And if it won't, if the smart search won't be able to optimize, it'll stop early. Like if it's as good as it's gonna get or whatever. I don't know how the guts of all of this stuff works, but yeah. All right, let me cut the video and then I'll start it in just a moment. And just money, I mean gold or Bitcoin or cash. Well, I'll start it in a minute. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited to do this. I'm gonna, in case there's some kind of system failures or something, some kind of goofy crap happens, which happens in data science when you're a genius and aren't very good at being, I don't know. So it happens. Get out of here, bro. Find your own house where you pay your own bills. Faster than you. So here's the invite link if you're trying to learn more about this stuff. But we also have, so if you visit the website, you know, I know not everybody uses Discord. So now we have live chat on the website, available 24/7. I work around the clock, and I'm always available, and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy for me. So if you're not into Discord and you know not into learning new things and stuff, which I'm totally with you on that, hit me up in this chat and I'll get right back at you. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. I wanna drop this crap in here. So you guys see that link right there, right? You just take that and you type those letters and numbers into the address bar of your web browser. And I'm not shouting because I think you're dumb. I'm shouting because I think I'm dumb. And if I were in your shoes, I would definitely look at that link. I still don't know what's going on in Discord. I've been using it for years now, and I'm still new. Shazam. I do apologize if I come off any type of way. I don't have the greatest social skills. I'm learning very quickly. I mean, I'm firing on all cylinders 17. You know what I mean? Because I just want to be available. I just want to do a good job. I'm already making great money doing what I'm doing, and I work a second job. Both my jobs are flexible, and both my jobs make me a ton of dough. I still got a lot of growing up to do, but I'm firing on all cylinders, and you can believe that. For sure. Alright. Check it! Let's get it! Wait, 1 hour? Yeah, so I'm looping it 4 times, and it'll stop early. So, let's go. Did I already mess it up? I guess not. Oh, that's right, I think it... So, like, whatever you set, and you see it's doing its thing automatically right now. Automagically. I think, like, whatever you... Like, the betweens, it sets that right away. So let's check that. I don't know what feels which. And I'm probably gonna break this entire process and mess up all of my footage. Not that I put a ton of work into it. Required. Yeah, see, this doesn't require change. Some of these starting ones will block. So like right now I'm checking. Well, maybe the loops will fix that. Man, I have no clue how this works mathematically. So I guess it's doing passes, right? Not loops, they're passes. So it's gonna find like the best it can find by cycling through each thing one by one. And it does, the smart search does some kind of weighted thing, but it said it still goes through like each thing. So yeah, see, it kept the 3, and now it's gonna tune a bunch of other stuff and keep what it likes. But then it's gonna go through it again and do it again, assumably in a slightly different manner. I don't know if I'll be speeding this footage up or not, but yeah. So right now it's just giving us a bunch of useless configs, which, you know, I gotta wrap my noodle around how to sidestep that next time. I would like the first pass to return some good ROI accumulation. I don't want to see a bunch of junk for basically no reason. But then again, the multiple passes, it might not be for no reason. I may use this as a longer time frame, front page video for the website, because this is a pretty good one. This is a pretty good video where you get a nice, long, in-depth look at such an amazing, crux point of Evija, the first master suite, and it focuses so much on math and strategy code, which is, that's an actual thing within PineScript. In PineScript, there are indicators and there are strategies. And then, you could put a bunch of indicators in a strategy so that it will do things automatically or quickly, which is really, really good for crypto. All of this stuff is amazing for every instrument class, right? So we're basically the best in the world. But all of this stuff is really, really good for crypto because crypto moves, it's so volatile, and it moves so fast. Testing this one here, and then look, it'll finish, and then save whatever. Yeah, so it's about to hit 1.20, and then it'll save what it liked the best. So we'll have to note what it does next time, on the next pass. So this thing down here should be... What? I don't understand why it skipped this. It wouldn't have set it to 0 if we didn't identify it, but for whatever reason it skipped it. It says it's weighted. I don't fully understand. It's likely that I'll have to set the basic fields, or see, like the between field, like these fields here in the config miner. It's likely that I'll have to set those. I'll have to set certain ones that are just ridiculous, that are not ridiculous. So let's think, like right now, like why are we only seeing 2 dot whatever? What is the constricting? Where's the throttle? Probably here. So it's not investing any capital really. So, and honestly, this whole module is super important. So you could, we could have tuned the rest of the script and then come back at this later. So set this up to, because this is your capital application or capital allocation. This and this could be tuned independently. So we could have tuned everything, left these inputs out and these inputs out, and that's honestly the way that I would do it. Because if you're not applying any capital, then what's the point of testing your signal sets? I mean, what's the difference between... We need bigger differences, honestly. Just a second here, I'm thinking. I'll go ahead and let it run so that way I can systematically know and say what it's doing. And then I will probably, you know, so this is going to take an hour. And like the chunking or whatever, this is going to take it can take an hour, it can take 2 hours. I'm gonna do laundry today. What? Okay, so I'll let this run its course. That way I know, like, I want to see what it does, what the end result is, and then I'll actually go back through and tune it the way that I would like to do it, so, which is, you know, tune a certain collection of modules at a time. So I would tune everything that I got programmed up here, but I wouldn't tune these fields and these fields at the same time. So I would tune everything but those, and then I would tune this. Then I would tune this. Maybe even have this off while I tune everything else. Doubtful, not necessarily. Not necessary, I don't think, but yeah. I'm gonna cut this video and then I'll come back and talk at you once this has made some headway. It's wanting to go for 2 hours and 22 minutes, and that could turn into 30 billion years. So we'll see what the dealio is, and then go from there. I'm gonna cut this video, and I guess I'll start another video to just capture the footage and perhaps time-lapse that. So, hey, I'm back. Time-lapse. Go. Oh, I messed everything up. Crap. Resume. Resume. Son of a gun. Excuse me. Alright, hold up. Show me what I want to see. It's not going to do anything, probably because it didn't have any settings to save because it's the filter. Alright, well, you got to see. I'll chop it up. We're going to do it the way that I want to do it because this is some bull. Alright. I'm going to cut this video, take a break, and then I'll come back once I have things set up properly. Alright, guys, I've got, not that. Okay. Alright, so I've got this set up the way that I want. I just removed the modules that we talked about, so it's checking update here. I've got this set at default, and so let's just do what we do best and wing it. Okay, so here it's so it's checking all those without having to fully load. That was the question. Oh, holy crap! I mean, there's obviously. I mean, man, we don't know. That's why I love my job. Holy friggin' poop! That was awesome. That was the coolest thing ever. I don't even know which of these numbers is. Well, this is. Oof. Oh. Oh my Lanta. I am very aroused. So that was 1,000,000% ROI, which is wrong. Maybe. This is 172,000. It's supposed to rank which one's doing the best. Oh yeah. Yeah. Give me the loot. So I'll stick with you guys here on this one since it's only going to be about 8 minutes. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 minutes. I don't think you're stupid, by the way. I'm just a smarty pants. My pants are smart. I just like to have fun. I work 2 jobs, I work all the time, stay available for everybody. You see, it still has 94 trades. That's what's making me think that it's not an error. Holy crap, look at these. 3,000,000%. That doesn't mean it's not real. It's not a real thing. I mean, something's messed up. What's it even testing right now? I have no idea what's going on. I mean, what is it even working on right now? It's not working on any of this stuff. What are you doing, bro? It's working on the fix. Oh, it's on round 2. Okay. What? There's gotta be some kind of error or something. It's like every time I get these ridiculous ROI accumulations, and then I fix them, and then it just goes up again, which is supposed to be the goal, but it's not supposed to go up by like factors of 10,000. It's not supposed to be going up in like massive magnitudes every update, man. I'm trying to end world hunger. I'm not trying to get us to Pluto. I just want people to be able to enjoy their lives. I'm not trying to colonize the universe. What are we doing? What is this nonsense? So right now, it's checking signal placement. And I bet there is a technique that I could use, like, you know, writing down all the inputs that this gives me, and then do it in reverse. So, like, just to take all of this, and then flip it. And do it in reverse. And see what happens there. And so when I code my own solution, it'll be able to do this. And I could probably have it pull the inputs too, just by sucking on the web elements. Do what you gotta do to get there. Mentally. What is this even mean? I mean, I just fixed this. We had like, it was like 48,000% ROI, and then I fixed all of the... Man, I got no clue what's going on. I'm gonna pause the video and take a look at this, because this is... I'm baffling myself right now, and it's killing me. I got no clue what just happened. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so, I haven't really figured anything out yet, but some of these configs, it just, like, doesn't render anything. Usually, you know, if there's an error, it would say no data. So no idea. So if it's a broken config, it'll say no data. So let's comb through these. Data, and then it just doesn't show anything. I don't even know what that means. So let's find one of these that actually shows up. Because we saw them. Getting hungry. Can't do anything with a config, it just doesn't show anything at all. Whoop. Okay, 92 close trades. There's gonna be an error on this. What the? Freaking signals everywhere. Yeah, see, that's an error. It shouldn't be able to use more than 10,000. And it uses 47,000. So again, there's a reason why it thinks it's okay to introduce outside capital. Yeah, so I will have to eliminate that once and for all, and then I'll just continue making videos, or making, I'll keep adding on to this video. So I'm going to stop it here for the evening, and then I'll have to squash that bug. It can't introduce, I don't want it to introduce outside capital, so that's a big deal to me. So I'm going to stop the video there, figure out why it's doing that, and then remedy the issue, and then go from there. Alright guys, talk to you. Hey, good morning guys, it's Big Rain. No, I'm not, no. I'm not talking to you, Google Assistant. Go back to sleep. And Alexa's back there. Chilling. Alright. All robots, turn off your ear holes. I'm talking to human people. Alright, before I forget, there's a lot I want to say in this ending, video cut. Right? This is part 7, of essentially Evija 3.2 and the full updates, reaching 3.2 stable. And I think the guys want me to, and ladies, in the group, the Grandmasters, want me to go ahead and get 3.3 finished. 3.2 has been really, really difficult because it's a lot of math and accounting, and I'm getting older, so the math is kind of. I did take a math class, about a year or two ago in construction school. Took a couple math classes, so it was a nice refresher course. But always kind of been bad at accounting. But for the most part, I work in logic, so it's not. I work with logic, and then I present the ability for you to control all the inputs and therefore the outputs. So I just build the rails, and so I mostly deal in those rails. I'll be dealing a lot more in math soon, and cash handling, but not necessarily accounting. I will be. I'm pretty much going to reinvent finance over the course of my career, so. Excuse me. I'm hungry, about ready for a spot of breakfast. So, there's a lot I want to say in this ending video. The first two things I want to talk about are some two major errors in the code, right? And this is about, when we're done, this is going to be thousands of lines of code in a single script. I find math and code all over the place, and then I basically rework it, and sometimes that can make it so, like, if there's small errors that the original programmer made, for the most part, I trust what they're doing. I don't take anyone's code. I learn from it, and then I kind of do my own thing. But if like I said, I work in logic. So, like, the reason I'm able to do what I'm able to do and help as many people as I can in such a massive, impactful way, is that punch didn't land quite right, so it didn't sound very tough. Used to be an audio engineer. But being able to build, these rails, sometimes I have to trust that, a certain bit of iron is brought together chemically in a way that keeps it from corroding and then sending the train off the rails. Well, since, a few updates ago, we basically blasted through the cutting edge, we basically surpassed everyone. And all code, all TradingView code, and TradingView's the best charting, and charting programming platform out there now. It's still new, but you got I think MT4, MT5. I'm sure they have scripts and logic, and then of course you've got all of the more proprietary Python stuff. And you got TuneScript, which is junk, I think. Yeah, whatever. The two things that I want to talk about are these massive errors. You know, and I'm sure there's more bugs and errors, and I'm sure we're probably about to find out that everything that I've done is basically crap, which I'm fine with. That's okay. But there are two major errors in the code, and I mean, it was an incredible journey bringing 3.2 to what I hope is a stable version, which means connecting our internal calculations and reporting with TradingView's strategy tester. That way we can have free instant backtests at a glance, even with robust config data mining. So making sure that reporting and internal calculations are absolutely airtight. Anyway, the errors. It was an incredible journey. There was through most of the third or fourth round of bringing 3.2. I mean, these are hundreds and hundreds of versions per update. There was a period where the script was in a constant state of error, and because of that, it only gave me one return figure. So I had to do tons and tons and tons and tons of development, basically flying by one single number, and that was pretty tough to do. But it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. The two errors that I want to talk about, I said all that to say that there's so much that, as always, there's so much that's changed. Excuse me. But the two major errors that I want to talk about is 3Commas concept of volume scaling. Nowadays, oftentimes I find that people have the jargon incorrect, and so I find that we are establishing the jargon these days across the entire finance sector as it pertains to investing and trading and macroeconomics. We are setting a lot of the jargon just because people just can't see that far, if you know what I mean. With their mind's eye, if you'd like to think of it that way. They can't visualize that far, or that wide, if you want to look at it that way. So like 3Commas, they talk about volume scaling. And that's a huge, massive part of what they do, and 3Commas is hyper well respected and growing. They're front and center, and everything that we're all trying to do essentially is, it's mostly emerging. TradingView's new, 3Commas new, crypto's new, Forex and stocks aren't new, but TradingView's still new-ish, I think. But they're all at least front and center. But there's kind of a problem with the way that 3Commas defines volume scaling, because in certain places throughout their, I guess let's for now call it process architecture, they're not actually talking about volume scaling. They're not talking about scaling the volume. They're talking about scaling the cache. So volume scaling is the scaling of the volume. And the volume is the number of units or contracts. Okay? So this is volume scaling. And a lot of times, from what I've seen, people are talking about 3Commas and volume scaling, when actually the conversation needs to be 3Commas and cache scaling. And in order to get your actual volume, you take what cash you want to spend and you divide that by the closing price, which is the real-time price. And that's how you get your number of units. See this number here with the plus 37041.561, that's the volume. We added that much volume, and that is TradingView's reporting. Okay? Whereas this is BroadView's reporting, and it's about cash. And this will get even better as we get along. And a lot of these updates, a lot of the updates in 3.2 had to do with these numbers and a lot of the internal calculations, and therefore cache handling. That's what those updates were all about, or 3.2, whatever. Just decided I was done talking about that tangent. the second thing that I wanted to mention, crap, I talked so long, I forgot it, and that was the exact opposite of my goal, and I did it anyways. I know how these videos go. Now I gotta open the code and hope I remember to blur the code to remind myself. Oh, that's right. So one of the programmers trying to follow in 3Commas footsteps and program something similar to what 3Commas does, made an error, didn't make an error, doesn't really matter. In my eyes, as far as what direction we were going, it was an error. And basically it was using the power function, so math.power, and taking the volume scaling, the float that you use for volume scaling, and taking it to the power of the number of the safety order. So if it was the third safety order, it would take the volume scaling to the power of 3. And powers work by taking the float or integer and multiplying it by itself that many times. So you get this really, really super fast ramping up of volume scaling. And you don't really need that. What you need to take is the number of the safety order and multiply that by your volume scaling. So, you know, with your safety order 1, you might have no volume scaling. With your safety order, or depending on how you want to do it, because that was something I changed too. I believe, hopefully, with the way I've got it set up, because again, I'm not that great at math. I'm not that great at programming either. I'm not really good at anything other than logic. Not to expose myself in public too often. So what we want to do, and I believe what everyone really wants to do or needs to do, you know, not to preemptively set the standard, but we are constantly breaking every mold in every direction. So you don't want to take like a volume scaling of 1.1 or 2 or 3. We'll use the number 3. You don't want to take a volume scaling of 3 and then on the third safety order take it to the power of 3, because then that would be 3 times 3 times 3, which would be 9 times 3, which would be 27. So then your volume scaling is 27. And then you're going to take, you know, your available cash times the percent of your cash, of your available balance that you would like to spend on a safety order, and then you're going to multiply it by 27. That's not really how you want to do it. So instead of using the math.power function, you need to just multiply the current safety order times your volume scaling. So if you do, you know, you use a volume scaling of 3 to try and be aggressive, on the first safety order you'll use 3, and then on the second you'll use 6, and then on the third you'll use 9 instead of 27. So you see how that works? It's using the math.power function is just far too aggressive. I made a lot of other changes too. That's what I'm saying. Like every one of these updates, it cascades. I mean, it's called a UGK, an underground king. When you do something that kind of goes without being noticed, and you just shatter all like all molds, and you kind of just send waves throughout everything. And you know that can happen when you're establishing jargon and establishing standards, and you know, you're defining how things are supposed to be done, which isn't what everyone wants to hear, because everyone wants to be the king of the jungle. But I'm telling you, there's a point where like pecking orders and kings of jungles makes absolutely no freaking sense at all. Like you get to a level where you just don't even perceive any of that stuff. And it makes it quite difficult to participate in like interpersonal relationships and like social things without sticking out like a sore thumb. But that's neither here nor there. That's just a tidbit of my own input. So I'm gonna chop this video and then start part 8, and we'll look at some stuff and see if we can break this script. All right. Okay. So here is the beginning of a signal set. Okay. Breakfast. So I like to call this a series. And you see there's the series. It's 13. It goes up to 13. It's one base order and 13 safety orders, and then it goes to a take profit. And I've added the take profit. I finally got this fixed up how I wanted. It presents the take profit in ROI for the series. See why that's all important now? The broad view reporting in our internal calculations. That's why it's important, because everything that we do has a purpose. Everything that the grandmasters ask for and mention has a purpose. Everything that I do has a purpose. All of the little updates and in-between versions, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of in-between versions per update, they all have a purpose. So we're going to look at the series and see, so we don't see any signal skipping. No, I can't remember how I fixed that issue. Oh yeah, I think it was removing the change pass from. So that was actually a bigger issue than I realized. There must have been tons and tons of safety order signal skipping, because the safety orders required the change pass that the base orders required. So to my knowledge, I don't see any signal skipping right here. That was something that I was looking at. So you can see the base order comes in. Here's the VO. Remember, the strategy tester, these labels, the arrow and that sideways triangle. So these triangles are ours, broad views, and these here are the strategy tester labels. So that's what's. And check this out, Shazam! I was hoping that the ROI accumulation would go down, but it did not. I fixed a bunch of bugs, and it just shot to the roof. I'm wanting to get more realistic numbers. This will pop up if you give it time. It's pretty weird. I haven't seen one that's looked like this yet. It looks really cool, doesn't it? And the number of trades went through the roof. I mean, this is still the hand default. I'm pretty sure this is the hand. When I did the default by hand, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah. And so it was at, I believe on the 1 hour it was super low. I haven't even checked the 45 minute. What does that say? 371951. Holy crap. See what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. There's gotta be error somewhere. So like before fixing all of these bugs, it was at like 75,000% ROI. And then, I'm thinking like, alright, cool. Along the way, I was seeing nice signs of like, okay, I'm fixing a few bugs here and there, and it's lowering the ROI. Obviously it's still really good. 1,000%, 10x on autopilot in a year. It's pretty good. Especially when it's done it for 2 years. It's pretty good. What's going on here? For Pete's sakes. Now it's like 1,000,000%. Just a lot more signals. Basically, we've shifted from, signal filtering is still a huge thing. Don't get me wrong on that. Check this out, by the way. You can go to list of trades, scroll to the bottom, you just click this on this side of the thing, and it'll warp you to the beginning of the signal set. So we've transitioned from, and this is what I'm talking about as far as like setting standards. I don't give a crap how you feel about whatever. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless, and if you don't like what I'm doing or how I am enunciating what I'm doing, then I'll just punch you square in the face. So you just shut your hole, sit there and shut up. But I've sort of been trying to transition people's thought process and my own from having to filter every signal that comes, on a downtrend, and instead starting with the principle or mentality that, in theory, opposed to having cash, one should be purchasing their assets on every single bar. And purchasing less when times are less favorable, and purchasing much more when times are more favorable. So that takes the primary consideration away from signal filtering and takes it to volume and cash scaling. So there you go. Take that one to the bank and the Treasury Departments. I really don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just making crap up as I go, so from time to time I'm going to sound like a complete idiot. This is fine. All I care about is breakfast. Okay. So let's just go ahead and look at the series. It goes up to, we're on the 45-minute chart now. Yeah, so there's the take profit. That ends the series. Don't need this anymore. So here's the base order. Spent $10. Safety order 1. Spent 86.9. Cumulative spending. You see now that's no longer lagging. All of this stuff has been fixed from every direction, so I'm only going to mention what I feel like mentioning. But the cumulative spending, it adds the $10 from before to the 86.9 now, and you've got your cumulative spending. So you're running total your cumulative spending of the series. And you can see the series ends, and it has not introduced or utilized more capital than its initial balance. Because the first series in a signal set can't, it definitely can, but it shouldn't, in probably most cases, it shouldn't exceed the initial balance, which right now is set to $10,000. So, a lot of times there were errors where it would show, cumulative spending of $600,000 in the first series, and that was because we were using math.power and taking the volume scaling, which really applies to cash and not volume, and we were taking it to the power of the number of the safety order. So it would have taken the quote-unquote volume scaling to the power of 15, and then multiplied that times the percentage of cash from your available balance that you'd like to use. Which is not what we want. So right now it looks okay. I'm sure there's errors somewhere. I mean, like my cousin said recently, to some degree, math is, he referenced an article on Facebook I saw. To some degree, math just literally deteriorates, so, there's just like loopholes that make no sense. So I'm sure there's... I'm not saying that will ever be a part of what we do. That's probably more along the lines of like quantum physics and quantum mathematics, but as far as what we do is a lot more pragmatic. But I said that, there's probably errors, and we might find errors. That's okay. There was a time when we ran signals that didn't have any reporting at all. So, and there was a time when I produced signal sets with no backtesting. I did it by eye and hand. I've been doing this for years, son. Years been dominating. That's why I don't want to hear a single thing that you have to say. And I'm getting over that too, especially with 3.2, because that's the biggest thing that I need to get through to you guys on this video. Man, I gotta make this sound tougher. This is Evija 3.2 is big. It's really, really big in the history of data science and algorithmic trading and programmed trading logic and programming and logic as a whole. This is an incredibly monumental, scientific thing, and I apologize that I do things sort of, and I just kind of get lucky. I apologize that that's kind of part of who I am, but it just is the way that I am. You know, I have a genius level IQ, but it's not that high, and that makes me more functional. It makes me more like it makes me more on time, closer to on time with my developmental milestones. But I also have a rather high EQ, emotional quotient, if you want to think of it like that. But I also have, like, you know, I have a remarkably built internal code that I've, you know, it's all of my principles that I've ever had, all of them. I've always, so I've got like an incredible sense of ethics and moral code, and I also have, you know, a good understanding of God. You know, it's one of my major principles that it's our duty not to obsess about God, but because I pay attention to witnessing miracles, I do indeed. So it's really, really, really difficult to be me. It is a lot of fun and it's really beautiful, but I get a lot of flack and pushback from people for decades, and it's not fair because I have an incredible heart and bandwidth and threshold of patience. You know, but when it gets maxed, I turn you inside out. So I apologize that I'm able to, like, it's been my whole life. I've done it over and over and over all the time. I'm sorry that I'm able to do things and it's like a big deal, and I do it casually and I make jokes and I have fun while I do it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or, you know, I pay homage to people and things, but I don't pay infinite homage to everything. I don't succumb infinitely to dogma or what people call boxes, or what I like to jokingly call pocket universes. You know, I have a proper genius level IQ, and I have a proper genius level EQ, and I have a proper genius level ethical and moral code, and I have a proper genius level relationship and understanding with God. Not religion, God. And I'm incredibly charismatic, and I have incredible timing. And rhythm. And some skill in language and math and writing and harmony, and a lot of skill in geometry and some skill in architectural visualization, and a lot of balls. I'm very, very ballsy. That's why I act immature and like a kid sometimes, and I'm goofy. I don't think anyone's stupid or anything like that. Yeah, sorry, it's venting. I've been getting pushback in my personal life always, but also like I said, I've been doing this for years. So really, is there any reason why I shouldn't yawn while I'm saying that? I'm not trying to be curt or I can't think of the word right now. I don't want to talk about this ad infinitum. But it's in this field, I get a ton of people saying all kinds of mean things and threatening me. I can make threats too, and I can say things too. And I think one of my phobias growing up was making people feel small. I mean, I remember when I overcame that phobia, and I was shaking, and all I was doing was I was calling my workplace to tell them to have the check ready for me when I get there. It's kind of baller, but at the time I was still kind of dysfunctional, so it's not as baller as you would think. But yeah, this series looks good. You can see how it's, it tells you what it's spending on each signal, and cumulative spending, and your position average. Yeah. Try to do a really, really good job. And so I shouldn't be getting any threats from people on Coke and people who pay strippers via Venmo. That would be super duper trill if I didn't get any kind of threats from those people, because you really don't want to mess with like my lawyer and like the people. You don't want to mess with me, my lawyer, or the people that support me. You just really don't want to go there. So in the next update for 3.3, I'm going to be introducing the trailing take profit, which would help you hold your take profit until you got closer to like here or up here. And on that trailing take profit, I'm going to introduce secondary conditions. So you could close out, somewhere around here. That secondary condition might be based on momentum. So like it goes like this, it just jackknifes. You might say, well, yeah, it could keep going up. But then when the overall momentum has like curved like this, then it might say, oh, we're going to go out here. So then you could end like way up here instead of down here, and instead of over here, and instead of over here. And so that's what secondary conditions on trailing take profit is going to do. And the secondary condition will also be added to the stop loss. So I'll be introducing in 3.3 stop loss and secondary condition as well, which will probably be like momentum or something fun. Maybe I'll make a new indicator for it. I'm tired and hungry. And I'm going to go out and work, and then I'm going to buy myself a big old breakfast. And everybody out there in land can just shut up and deal with it. I'm really hungry. Okay, I will touch on this. Let me cut the video. I'll touch on my condensed updates for what I have planned for the future. And then we will do some config mining. And see if we can break this. Alright, so here's the stuff coming that I'm really intent on doing. I had a ton of ideas, but lately I've just been trimming the fat in every direction. Let me outline what I actually want to do real quick. This is in the private chats. Here, again, is this is the link to get into our Discord. And you can chat with us here, and if you join the squad, you can get into the Broadview Mastermind private chat. This is for legacy roles, not, nothing to pay attention to, and then conferences for, one-on-ones from time to time. You can also add me as a friend. I'm totally open. You can send me messages. I went ahead and opened myself up there. Okay. So what I'm focused on doing right now is adding the trailing take profit, add stop loss, add secondary conditions for trailers. So these are trailing things, these are trailers. Add sniper mode that predicts daily lows. Add bull cycle accelerator. Check stocks and options. Check indices and other instruments to make sure that we're good to go. Remember, Evija is all about reaching like a full, complete, stable TradingView strategy tester script. Just the best of the best in the history of time. And it's been really, really rewarding, but not a ton of fun. So after this crap is done, I'll be able to get back to the fun stuff, which is not working with strategy code and working with technical indicators, that's what I enjoy. This strategy crap's been whack. It's been whack-a-mole for sure. And then later, what I'm going to be focused on is, excuse me, adding the new. So I have another indicator called Divergence Radar. I'm gonna make like revamp that and create a divergence prediction module. So as of now, I don't really use divergences or rely on them that much. But if I flip this thing on and I see that relying on divergence predictions boosts the ROI more often than not, or boosts it in certain market environments, then we'll know. And that's the whole reason for Evija. Excuse me. Then I gotta add the moving averages suite, which is another indicator of mine. Add fear and greed index. So these are things that you can flip on, and then you can filter the signals and stuff by. And it creates all this diversity, and it has all of these should be modules that supply what's needed for different trading styles and different market environments and different setups. So on full auto, most things will be turned off. But then you can kind of go from there and have a blast. And it's what it makes our ultimate achievement and objective 3-pronged, which is to lower the bar for algorithmic trading, for everyone. Increase the bottom line massively. And the third prong is, I totally forget. I'd have to go back and watch the video. Lost my train of thought. Not my train of thought, but I forgot what I was going to say. Oh! So if you're lowering the bar and raising the bottom line, that is a... I used to be a business strategist. So that is a strategic way of, making a ton of dough. If you stop the bleeding expenses-wise, and then you multiply the bottom line by 3, you didn't just 3x. You cut all your expenses as well. And then if we apply that, right, lowering the bottom line, lowering the bar and raising the bottom line, we apply that to what we do. The last thing that we really need to do is diversify it. That way, not everyone is trading the same signals or the same signal sets. There'll be tons of people who use default. But then again, they'll be using default all over the freaking place. They'll be using it on different instruments, at different time frames, at different times. So with lowering the bar and raising the bottom line, and the third prong being diversifying allocation of wealth, or employment of wealth, or deployment of wealth, you really are creating the Philosopher's Stone. But Philosopher's Stone is going to be a piece of tech. That's one of my favorite things to create is pieces of tech. So that's just like an indicator that does something cool within a signal suite. Excuse me, that was a hunger belch. Gulp! Alright, later, add new divergence prediction module, add point of control, and then the Hotel Indigo stuff, which is, these are the indicators that banks rely on, and treasury departments. I don't know the difference between a bank and a treasury. I don't know what anybody's doing. I don't give a crap what anybody is doing, because they're always doing it wrong. Hotel Indigo, that adds, so you'll be able to filter signals and alter signal sets via volume, momentum, trend, and volatility. And then 6, add snapshot, which is it's a pivotal, I'll just read this, self-adjusting multi-support and resistance. So it's support and resistance that is not just applied to price action, or price, or close, or supply and demand. Okay, so it's just not a classic support and resistance. Okay, it's a multi-support and resistance, and it's self-adjusting. The self-adjusting requires the name snapshot, which means that it sort of has a sense of memory, virtual memory or whatever. 7, add Philosopher's Stone, self-adjusting volume, momentum, trend, volatility, weighting. So I don't know totally what that's going to be. I just came up with this Philosopher's Stone idea, but I did used to have a company called Whitestone, which was based on it was based on a couple different things, but that's when I was practicing business strategy, and that's when I got first-hand experience at what it is like to turn off the bleeding and raise the bottom line. So that 1-2 punch is cool, and the fact that we can diversify what we're doing is really, really cool. The self-adjusting is what makes it white box AI. Snapshot is another pivotal contribution of ours, one of the biggest for now. The best way to think of it is like attaching a crawler to what is already like a zipline contraption script. So another thought transition I've been trying to have and share with people is that cryptocurrencies are programmatic currencies. Okay, it's like an economy in a box. They're trying to program a currency, and some people are having the sneaking suspicion of using like tons and tons and tons. What they're sniffing out there, or what they're moving towards, is multi-planetary economies in a box. So the thought transition I've been trying to have and share with people and get people to adopt or at least test, is that if the economy in a box or currency, cryptocurrency, is programmatic, then you can program a response. And just visually, we're only talking about visual, like just a metaphysical. Son of a bee. We're just trying to program a response, and that makes our scripts like a zipline contraption, right? So the thing that clings to the zipline, or like the wheels of a roller coaster, how they cling to the rail, right? You take that contraption, and then snapshot is sort of to be thought of in a way as a crawler that is attached to that zipline contraption. So we're programming a response to price action, and when price action is programmed instead of just being like a wild economy, right, a traditional economy, if it's a programmed economy in a box, then we can program a response. So yeah. Oh yes, and a candlestick pattern scanner, that's really important to a lot of people, and a price action pattern scanner. That's for people who are just insane. People who look for like it's just a joke. If you look for like a bat pattern or a whatever, and then I know economists, like macroeconomists, that rely primarily on candlestick patterns, and I know TradingView just not too long ago added their candlestick pattern library, which is really cool. So we'll have a candlestick pattern scanner that can just scan that stuff for you and go ahead and throw it through all the internal calculations. I think there's still choppiness index plus ADX DMI. So that there might need to be a sort of map, right? We got a connection, we've got a crawler, and we need a map. And for a long time I was calling that the sentiment matrix. And that could also include perhaps the ASO. But it'll be intertwined with everything else that we have, so it's not. This stuff is so far beyond stuff that you could reverse engineer. It's like not, you might hurt yourself trying to do it. Not kidding, actually. And it might combine with like all this stuff would probably connect with the snapshot and the Philosopher's Stone. I'll figure out a way to stick that in there somewhere because it's pretty hot. Miro the Dawn, one of my favorite people. Alright, man. Hungry. Pew. You said that crap. Loading. Safety over 505. And with our code, with the way that we do things, if you're from the outside and you don't know, we figured out a way to bypass 3Commas safety order limits. So now you can actually have full auto configs. Pretty freaking cool. This says 183 million. Yeah, that's not too alarming. I'll be sure to, at some point, I'll be sure to go through and make sure, do I really feel like there are no errors? Which, like I said, I'm sure there are. So let me start playing with config miner. I'm going to cut this video and do another one. Okay, so this is part 10, so I'm going to try and wrap this up here. I'm going to try and speak a little bit quicker, which might force me to use a higher pitched inflection. Don't judge me on that, as I have big balls. Okay, all of this stuff, is all Gucci a la mode. Okay, bang. We're gonna open this bad boy up, and we're gonna close that just because I don't like the way it looks. Close that crap because it's old people stuff. Then we're gonna go to this thing, that thing. I don't want any of that, and that's what I thought. We're gonna set that. I want to see more. Give me more. I don't care about seeing that label because for right now it's still mostly for show until I add the matrix and stuff. Open this. Bad little girl. Bad adult. Delete all of this stupid crap. So stupid! I don't want to download it. Why would I want to download it if it's stupid? Go. Do me like a lady. Guarantee I forgot to do something the right way. I sure freaking did. Isn't that how they do, ladies? Remove all entries. What I thought. Yeah, because that makes sense. 6,000,000% ROI in 2 years. Because that's a real thing. Do it. Okay, so that's the number we've already seen. 584. It's loading, it's grisnipped. I want to have a good breakfast, but I spent money on KFC. I think it's still moving. 46 minutes. Could be my internet just sucks, which it does. I pay for the good internet, just don't get the good internet because all of the wires are old. And the apartment complex is paint over the metal year after year. Or whatever it is. But whatever it is, I need to quit doing it. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Because it clearly doesn't make any sense. How it's a billion friggin' percent. I don't know why I'm doing this config mining. What's the purpose if every single config is unreal? So what's the dealio here? You. All of you, shut your holes. This right back up. And this. So what I want to look at are the... now it could be, but I thought I already proved to myself that it doesn't do this. It could be that... now that's a known issue, or whatever, is that, so that's how many total trades it did, but then, you know, it doesn't count, like, all the safety orders or whatever, I don't know. Past all this stuff. So I just want to look at, so what I was wondering was, you know, is it stacking, like, in a series of 15, you know, one base order and 15 safety orders, is it stacking the ROI, the ROIs from each safety order? So is it like if the series had a return of 24%, is it adding together the ROI from each safety order? You know what I mean? Is it like stacking it? Like this, it says, you know, take profit, you know, but over here, you know, the individual differences or whatever, is it stacking it? But I thought I proved to myself that it wasn't. So for me, I feel like I really trust this number. Okay? Quickest way, I think, to look at it would be... I wish I could filter... What about this? What is this? Give it to me. Open. So any of what's that? No. I only want to keep the take profits. Can I do that? Right here. No. Safety order 8, safety order 9, safety order 10, 11. It goes to 15. Right here. So I just want to keep. Yeah, I just want to look at safety order 1. So I only want to see the trades where it says safety order 1. Is there a way for me to target and destroy, eliminate, eradicate, and obliterate the crap that I don't want to see? Can I do a control F? SO1. Find all. Is there a way for me to select every line that isn't that? Or could I just copy? Can I paste? Can I close this and paste? No, that didn't do anything. What? No. Control find. Okay, find all. Okay, yeah, you found them all, but where's the tools to manipulate everything that we found? Options. Within sheet, search by rows, look in formulas. Match case, match entire cell, contents. No format. Set. Daddy doesn't know what to do. I could report the match case. Space. Find all. Shoot. Can I do that? And I think that would have worked as well. In fact, I'm gonna do that. So BO find all. Okay. Here. And so I'm gonna select that. Shift. Oh, fudge. No, you won't let me do that? Sure do. I could do this. Zoop. Zoop. And delete. Ah, are you kidding me? Doge. Just delete it. Delete it! No! Delete the row! I don't want this. I can't. Most features are... Well, you know what? Don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do. Go 2 sheets. Blank. Now you open. Upload. Downloads. Shazam. That's one of them. Find. Yeah, you know what Daddy likes. Find them all. Doesn't do anything. Can I just delete them? This row. This row. Clerical work. That's correct, yes. No. Yeah. He just looks like an S. Do it to him. So we're looking at all the take profit exit orders, and I bet you there's just actually a simple way to do this. I just don't know what it is. There's no way to sort anything yet. Daddy convinces him to listen to Daddy. No, I don't want to set an alert. Performance summary? %. Average trade is 58%. Some of the stuff's just not gonna make any sense at all. It sure doesn't give me a way to filter. Don't know why it's doing that. No, I don't need this ancient tool. This. Do this a lot faster, but I just don't care. And I know I wouldn't make any mistakes, but what fun would there be in that? Wait a minute. it's the same take profit, so I assume that I've already left it in. I guess I can check. Boom. 20.83. So here's 20.83. Safety bars go back down. It's supposed to be 20.79. I think it's a short. Yes, it's 5%. Oh, hungry. Delete rows. Delete rows. Now, Luke, you will be mine. I'm leaving the 21.48. Okay. I hate clerical work. It's the most stupidest, dumbest stuff ever. It's ridiculous. You're cringe. I would never, ever, ever take a job to work with spreadsheets. It's almost easier just to look for that. Yeah. Wait, what? Really, warp speed would just be actually using the find feature and doing this without errors, but when I'm in a mode, I'm in a mode. Delete. Can't teach a 31-year-old dog new tricks. This is taking forever, man. This is gonna take me 1 billion years. I'm not doing this. I gotta eat breakfast today. I want something good. I want something fried in a pan. I want a country breakfast, a country steak breakfast. With a ribeye. Hey! Up here. Okay, so I'm gonna look for control, find, BO. It's only 13, so I don't know how hopeful I am about everything. If there's only 13 series, plus the ones that I've already done crap for. So, this. Let me start all over again. So, take all of this, delete everything. Hate spreadsheets, but I love starting over from scratch. For some weird reason. I'm actually a big fan of that. Have I already altered this crud? I don't need any of your ancient technology, no. Open, says I. Open sesame. Open a sesame! You didn't do anything! No! Download. Yes. File. Import. Upload. This. That. Do it. Import the data. Import it. You don't know jack about Jill. Get off of me. Go to Sheets. Blanket. Open. That one. That's what I thought. Get rid of all these guys. Delete. Did it happen? Did it just happen? Just like that. Control, find. See, there's only 20 series. So, you know, I don't know how hopeful I am, or how much faith I have in the whole TradingView strategy tester. I mean, everybody's been saying not great stuff about it since the beginning, and I never wanted to use it, or even use strategies. Like I said, I was doing stuff, I was eyeballing it, doing signal sets by hand. If we have some reporting, that's good. You know, if we could have some numerical indications for directions. But I would like it to be 1000% accurate. But almost 1.9 million% ROI in, I believe, 2 years from 20 trades, technically 20 trades, you know, made of tons and tons of, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of safety orders. But it's still only 20 series. I don't know how hopeful I am, so we're going to find out. I'm going to leave behind both blocks, and all I got to do is scroll up, hit the shizneft, and then I'm going to delete them rows. Oh, what just happened? Oh, there they go. Right there. See? There they are. Now I can click this, and I can click up, and click it down. And so now, I got this, and I can just whack that, and shazam. Now, see, we've got the buy orders accumulating. This, we just got that stuff left over, the stuff that we want to have stuffed. Long freaking series. Good thing we figured out how to bypass 3Commas 100 safety order limit, because that was a thorn in our side for about 5 seconds. So long, Rose. Fare thee well. That one. Doop, doop. This. Now this is how you do clerical work. You know what I'm saying? Clairvoyance and healing spells. Will you just scroll me to where I want to go? What just happened? I just screwed something up. What just happened? I just deleted way too much. Undo. Okay. That one. There. Yeah. And we should have 20. We should have 40 rows when we're designing. Those stupid rows. This. Just stop selecting stuff without me telling you what to do. This shouldn't be a thing. There should be a take profit here. Take profit by order, take profit by order, take profit by order, take profit safety order. obviously one right here. Why is it only finding 7? It's like it's not scanning the entire document. So, okay, so there's more than 20. There's a lot more than 20. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me cut the video and come back. Wait. You know what, I'm good. Because I'm going to wrap this up soon, because I'm hungry. And I got to move on with my day. I want to get a little bit of work done on my second job. And, no. 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 That crud. Whoa. Might as well. That's right. I wanted to eliminate all this crud, but oh well. Alright, so right now I just want to look at 1, 2, and then keep just a mental average. So it's about 24. 1, 2, 3. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because the ROI from the series is it's just the rate of, it's not even the ROI, it's the rate of change from the position average. The return on investment, that's a portfolio, that's a macro number. So I don't even know if counting these and keeping a mental average, if that'll even... That says spent nan. I don't know why it says that. That's something like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This isn't right. 14. 15. Yeah, it doesn't. That doesn't. The rate of change is nice to see on the chart, but it doesn't tell me. Oh man. So that means I've got to add this rate of change. Take profit at rate of change delta. Right. So I'll just put a triangle there. Then in a parentheses, I'll need to put the ROI for the series, and I'll need to put ROI for, ROI of the total capital. Oh, man. So counting these and looking at the rate of change until that doesn't mean anything. All I wanted to do was fix those bugs and get this number to go down, and it did the opposite of that, times 3. I wanted it to be more realistic. And now it looks like all the bugs have been squashed, and all that did was make the numbers go through the roof. See, look at this cumulative spending. It doesn't look like it's bringing in crazy outside capital. Because, you know, in business you could do that. You could write a check from the outside world to the business. And so you could do the same thing in trading. So, like, for me, I work a second job. And so I can introduce outside capital to my trading anytime I want. I afford myself that privilege. And so there's nothing wrong with a script introducing outside capital. It's when it does it, you intend for it not to. So I'm looking at the cumulative spending, and it doesn't look like it's doing any kind of astronomical numbers. And you would know because it would go. I mean, that's scaling, but at the same time, the numbers are still under 20,000. So, you know, when we're many trades in, many safety orders in. So I know it's not exceeding its grasp. I just have to know why the total ROI overview number is so incredibly friggin' high. I gotta wrap my mind around that. I mean, I'll probably just have to bulk up our reporting so I can see more numbers. Like, I gotta see that ROI type stuff I was talking about on the take profit, and I need to see, like, what the available balance is. I need to have the available balance, which has been totally revamped. I need to have the available balance right here at the end, so I can see, well, right here at the end, or wherever. I need to. Oh no, I don't need to truncate that position average shorter. So right here at the end, it'll say, I'll add like what the available balance is. In fact, I can do that right now, just so I can catch a gander. Because it's no gimmicks with us. Let me see. Balance. Yeah. This. Yeah. Safety orders. So I'm going to add, and I'm just going to abbreviate it with C for cash. Add the dollar symbol, and then I'm going to add toString, or toString, as I used to think it was called. I was like, what is a toString? That just shows you how much of an idiot I am. And that's why I act the way that I do. Because I know just how dumb I really am. ToString. It's hilarious. It's a toString. Entire time I was like, what is that strength dot ToString? I'm like, it was so funny. Comma. We're gonna truncate it down to 2 decimal places. Idiocracy, don't fail me now. Could not find function or function reference. Truncate. I spelled truncate wrong. I spelled it trunate. I missed the C! And what we're doing is abbreviated with a capital C. Oh! The synchronicities of idiocracy. Give it to me. It's the same ridiculous ROI. So I will no hidden change any of the math stuff. Yup, same ridiculous one. The available balance is $1. Okay. Oh, that's on all those. Okay. What about up here? Oh. 40 million. Yeah, because as it takes more safety orders, the available cash goes down because the cash goes into reserve. Dude, all the numbers look airtight. I just can't figure out why the ROI tripled. I wanted it to be reduced by 3. I didn't want it to go up by 3. I wanted it to be reduced by like 30 times. I didn't want it to go up 3-fold. This is just gonna make me get more backlash. This is gonna get more people right up my keister. I wanted less people in my keister. I don't have that much room left. I can't see the beginning trades because of so many lines. And I don't like that. That's a TradingView error. That this has duplicate lines. I'm gonna wrap this up soon. So I'll just look at it the way that it is and then kind of fix the formatting later. I mean, I could drop the decimals and reduce the position average. Let me do that real quick. Real quick, like. Available balance, I'm going to truncate that to 0. We'll just round it all off. Truncate that to 2. Truncate this to 0. And truncate this to 0. Alright, and we'll save the old girl. Overview. It's almost 1.9 million% ROI in 2 years, which makes no freaking sense. It is Matic USDT, but all the same. I can almost see one. The reason I can't is because I need to. So let me reformat how I do. This. Perhaps eliminating the spaces. I will eliminate the P for position average. We'll just call it average. I'm going to eliminate the S here and just call that cumulative. Eliminate the space here. You can see it's just cash. And see how that does me. Same ridiculous ROI. Okay. And now it looks like we've got everything on one line. Yeah, looks good. Spent, cumulative spending, position average, and cash. Yep, everything looks good. So now we can see the full sheet. And I totally forgot why we were doing all this. Oh yeah. So now we've got this new figure, cash, and that shows the available balance. So $10 is used, and so that makes available balance $9,989. That's correct. Well, that would be minus $11, but whatever. Yeah, it's close. Then we're taking 86 from it. Yeah, okay, so it's close. So we're looking at this cash number, the C, and also cumulative spending, which I don't think we need to look at cumulative spending because that was the math.power issue. We're looking at cash. You know, when it goes down, this first series I believe is 15 long, 15, yep, see 15 safety orders, so cash, and then cash went up. Just take profit. I would also like it to report the cash amount that it profits. So available cash after $10 is $11,526. It looks like it went up well. So our reporting looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, full on double rainbow. But I don't know about the TradingView Strat Tester ROI report. I mean, that is nuts. 1.9 million% ROI in 2 years. You're talking almost 1,000,000% ROI per year. Why would that happen? I gotta wrap this video up. And I'm no closer to figuring out why. Spent $14, $10, spent $7. Wow, this is really good. Look at crescendos. And then there's a like a denouement. See? It goes 669, 672, and then it reverses. It goes to 663. I saw reverse scaling when it was an issue, but now it's like it's intelligently knowing. I have no idea how I did that. How much it's spending per safety order is going down. I'm kind of blowing my own mind here. So cash, you know, the available balance is going down. Okay, so I mean, it's all it's all compounding and based off of percentages. So it just somehow that knows when the balance is going down, it's only taking so much. Wow, that's pretty incredible. I almost feel like our internal calculations and reporting is better than TradingView's. But that, I mean, we're also within the context that we're talking, we're in direct competition. We're trying to pair and get that ROI number to look good. But it's like as available balance is going down, how much it's spending goes down, and it was really cool to see it go up and then reverse direction as our cash pool went down, our purchasing power. This is so cool. This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen myself do. Or it is just cool. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not really good at math. I'm good at math, but not like super good at math. So it's not spending more than it has. This is freaking nuts, man. Now it can't spend $2 and $3, so that's an error. But I'm more worried about the math with Evija. I'm not necessarily worried about the individual exchange rules right now. I can write that code in later. What I'm worried about right now is pairing with TradingView, strategy testers reporting, internal calculations and such, in such a way that I can do robust config mining. Because you remember we started config mining and I'm like, why am I even doing this if every ROI is ridiculous? But if the ROI isn't ridiculous, then I guess mining is worth it. And again, like, everything doesn't have to be perfect. There was a time when we did this all by hand and by eye, and now we're just doing it with some indication. Spent $0, $2. Spent $0, $2, or $1. And it's truncated, remember, and Maddox is rather low. So it's spending pennies out of this dollar. So it's just gonna... So that's something I'll probably fix now, the exchange. Because for the most part, I think it's just $10 is the minimum. It's different for every exchange. So if the spent amount is less than $10, then it'll just go ahead and say, don't take the safety order here, or refuse it. I'll cut down on these line items, but still. This isn't hurting anything. It's still giving you nice, solid ballpark numbers. Yeah, it's just spending pennies out of this $1, and eventually it takes its profit. And then here we go, and it's like you see this available balance, it went up by a reasonable amount, not a ridiculous amount. Now on the summary, it does this. I wish I could see the date when it does that. I can just look for... It's like halfway through. I guess the take profit probably would say that it's pretty nuts. It could be ROI stacking, but I was pretty sure that I saw that it wasn't. Let me actually look at the, got some of these. Taking up multiple lines. That's alright, as long as we can still see that. Number one. Shoot. I wish I could see the dates on this stuff. Slightly after halfway through. which would be, I think it does from the beginning of the profit less open trades, meaning right here, yeah, it goes from 2019 January to, so we're talking 2020 beginning, so like within the first 2 quarters of 2020. Must have been some crazy jump from like a penny to 99 cents. Yeah. So this might only be for 1 year. Oh my gosh. It's like every freaking thing that I do. I'm trying to boost ROI, but I'm not trying to make myself look like a freaking crackpot. So this might just be flatline just because it doesn't have the data. Who knows? Man, being at the cutting edge is really difficult. It's mostly the social stuff, you know. That's what I'm worried about. Is, you know, I don't want to. I thought 75,000% ROI was ridiculous. Now it says almost 2 million. I mean, so halfway would be. I feel like I do trust the cash balance thing that we just made. So if we know that our initial capital is $10,000. Just go back here. ETH. And look at the cash. Says 66,000. But then all of a sudden does it go haywire? It says cash is. You'll know that it doesn't have that much cash. Let me look at list of trades. Cash is 66,000. Oh, it's 40 orders in and it still has 66,000 cash. What did it have at the beginning? Crap load. Yeah, it had 152 million in cash. So it went from $10,000 to 152 million in cash. Profited. It had 183 million in cash. See, that makes sense that it would go up that much. All of these numbers look airtight. I just don't understand how something could be so good that it goes from $10,000 in cash. This is end of 2021. This is the beginning of 2020. So it's 2 years. I mean, this really, really, really is like discovering the Philosopher's Stone. I don't want to do any dating right now. I'm changing history. I'm on my phone. Calculator. So return on investment is calculated. I'm gonna do this last calculation and then call it the beginning of my day. ROI is calculated by subtracting the initial cost of the investment from its final value, then dividing this new number by the cost of the investment. Okay, so subtract the initial cost from its final value. Okay, so its final value-ish is right here, and it's 183,326,483. So 183,326,483, and divide that, or I'm sorry, subtract $10,000. That was the initial thing. Divide this new number by the cost of the investment. Okay, so divide it by 10,000. Okay, and then multiply that by 100 times 100. 1,833,164.83% ROI. What the fuck? Ooh, excuse me. What just happened? How did I make this? How did I make this? I've lazily written code that reshaped a large company before, an international, global company, just by writing an automation script. And now I have done that for like the entire planet. Every industry, medical, companies that, pharmaceutical companies and medical R&D companies that research cancer, commodities, corn, oil, crypto, stocks, bonds. I'm flabbergasted right now, and hungry. Alright, that's it, guys. I'll try and chop this video up and try and make it as short as possible. It's been 10 parts, where I show you just an over-the-shoulder look at what I do as a data scientist who programs trading logic. And I'm going to get back to real life. Alright, it's been Big Rain. And you gotta join the boys. You gotta join the boys, baby. I wanted to show some more things about how I had an idea for mining. I mean, first I wanted to make sure that it was worth doing the auto config mining or the config mining, which it is. And so I was thinking about doing a smart search. I've got footage on all that, so you guys can take it from there. I thought about scanning set 1, which was this, right, and then set 2 would have the volume scaling module in it, and then set 3, which I don't have a screenshot of here, but it's in here. And, this is set 2 and 3, I believe. It houses those inputs. What I wanted to try, or whatever. The config for the config miner. And I was thinking about scanning set 1 3 times forward and then backward. Then scan set 2, and the reason for doing it in sets is, I've explained that in a previous video. Yeah. I guess it is worth auto config mining, but how much could it really be? I mean, I guess if you're on maybe like stocks or something less lucrative than crypto. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good day, and I love you. I mean that. Doses!